Hello, everybody, and welcome to our CEO Mindset Chat. I absolutely enjoy coming on here and sharing with you just some tips, my experiences, what I've been through, and ways that it can help you grow your business, grow your organization, or just to help you in your own day-to-day walk, whatever it is that you're working on. Today, we're going to be talking about some goal setting basics, and I'm going to share a little bit of my story with you on today because it's real interesting because sometimes people feel like they see you where you are and they don't understand the work, the preparation, um, the sacrifice, the hardship, the things that you had to overcome to be able to stand where you are. And I know that many of you that even follow me are very successful in your own right. And so you fully understand what it is that I'm saying. You fully understand the sacrifice that's required. You fully understand the shifts and the adjustments that's required to be a successful entrepreneur. It is not for the faint at heart. If you wear your feelings on your sleeves, entrepreneurship is going to be a challenge for you. I remember when I first started going viral on TikTok and on the reels on Facebook, for instance. I can't read the comments. You cannot read the comments because when you read the comments, you realize everybody is not happy for you. And it can be something very simple that you shared, and somebody will take it way left, way out of context, make some of the craziest comments and statements. But let me tell you something, that's just the enemy to get you off focus. And so you have to make sure that as you are building your business and as you are building your brand, that you guard your heart, don't get in your feelings, and that you have a clear blueprint that you are working for each year. Make sure you have a clear, hear me now, blueprint that you are working towards, because otherwise people just do what they do. I'm just gonna tell you, people gonna be people, and you have to be okay with not pleasing everybody. That's my introduction for this morning. You can't please everybody trying to be an entrepreneur. And when you are setting your goals for 2022, you're not setting goals to please everybody, okay? Number one, and we're gonna stay here for a minute. Number one in our goal setting basics today is decide what you want. And I know you think, man, that is so basic. It's not basic. It's the foundation of everything. And it is basic, but not simple. That's the word I'm looking for. Decide what you want is number one. Decide what you want. You got to give yourself permission to want another level, to desire another level. If you're an entrepreneur and you're going to take our boot camp that we're going to kick off on Sunday, for instance, we're actually going to do the vision board and all those great things, but then we're going to sit down and we're going to look at the numbers, and we're going to take the numbers and we're going to add those numbers up until they hit six figures, because we got to have a goal. So your goal may be to make $50,000 this year, but when you go through the boot camp, you're going to have a blueprint to make 100,000. I want you to understand that. And if you decide that your work ethic or your my upline said, when your grind match your goals, you can have whatever you want. You're not limited. But the first thing you got to do is decide what you want. Decide what you want. And a lot of times, y'all, we're limited by our background. We're limited because we haven't seen anybody else do what it is we want to do. We're dreamers. See, I'm a dreamer. I've always been a dreamer. You know, my background comes from, we lived in the projects. My mom was a hard worker. I watched my mama work 2 jobs all the time. 3 jobs at Christmas. I was the oldest, so I was responsible for the kids. But let me tell you, my mom did an amazing job at raising us, but my life was crazy. It almost at some point felt like I was a target for the enemy. I had been molested by a couple of cousins. Then I ended up being kidnapped and raped. Then I ended up living with my grandma out in the country. It was like my life was just constantly in turmoil. There was always something. But then on the other side of that, in school, I was a straight A student. I was an athlete. You know, it was almost like I don't even want to say this, but I'll say it because it'll give you a picture like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was like in the forefront, my life looked like it was perfect. And then behind the scenes, it was absolutely chaotic. It was chaotic. And then I had a decision to make, just like you got a decision to make. It's January 5th. We have a decision to make. Am I going to allow the life that I lived to determine the life that I will now live? Am I going to allow my past, my history, the hardships that I went through, what my parents did or did not do in my life to determine how I will live the rest of my life? Or will I dream of something greater? Will I dream of something more? Will I dream of something different? And that's what I did. And I know that's what a lot of you are doing right now. That's why goal setting tip number 1 is decide what you want. I couldn't sleep one night. It was the middle of the night, and I was watching this program, and the preacher was talking about $500 an hour. He was talking about sowing seeds and things like that. The message was about sowing seeds, but for some reason in my spirit, all I heard was $500 an hour. The next day when my husband got up, I told him, I said, I'm going to make $500 an hour. And he was like, okay, what you going to be doing? You got some clients that I don't know about? No, I did not. We didn't have any clients. We didn't have a blueprint of what we were going to be doing, but I knew the outcome that I wanted, right? I wanted to make $500 an hour. I was already a certified coach. I was doing a lot of free stuff. Y'all, I did free trainings for a year and a half. I couldn't get anybody to pay for anything, but I was doing the free stuff. I knew what I wanted. I knew where I was headed. And so what God did was during those 18 months, it allowed me to master my message. It allowed me to master the content. It allowed me to work with people who had different backgrounds. It allowed me to be the only woman in the room in some situations. It allowed me to be the only African American in the room in some situations. And let me pause right there. Y'all, a lot of times we are stuck right here because the people who have our next level, or the people who have what we need, or that missing link, or maybe they're going to be the one to refer you to the next level, don't look like you. They don't talk like you. They don't think like you. And we are so intimidated that we stay in circles that look just like us. I want to challenge you this year to do something different and decide what you want. Be specific. Now, under number 1, decide what you want. You got to be specific. Listen, you got to be specific. I said yes, you got to be specific. Let me give you some examples. Don't say I'm going to lose weight this year. No, quantify it. I'm going to lose 40 pounds this year. You have to put a number to it. Don't say I'm going to exercise this year. You have to say, I'm going to walk 1 mile a day, 5 days a week. Or I'm going to go and do dance aerobics 3 days a week. You got to be specific. Don't say, I want new clients every week. We all want new clients every week. Say, I want 5 clients every week. You got to make it specific. Don't say, I want to make more money this year. Say, I want to make $100 a day. I want to make, actually, that's not 6 figures, but I want to sell something every day. Don't just say, I want to sell something every day. How much money you want to make every day? You see what I'm saying? Make it very specific. Decide what you want and make it specific. And don't be afraid to say, I want clients. So you're going to say, all right, every month, I want to have 10 new clients every month. I want 10 new clients every month. I want clients that value the service that I give and don't haggle over my prices. I want clients that will share that I do good work. And I want clients that don't mind referring me to other people. So when you're writing out your goal for the year, be specific. You got to write it out. Don't be afraid to put it out in the atmosphere, what it is that you want, because the power comes from our spoken word. So when you put the word out, not only does God hear what you're saying, because power of life and death is in our tongue, but you hear it. And then so your subconscious begin to make course corrections. It begins to connect you with you're drawn, we call it discernment. You're drawn to those clients. Because sometimes this is why I have what's called discovery calls. So you can't, for my classes, my workshops, things like that, you can just pay and sign up. But if I'm going to be working with you long term, you can't just pay and sign up. I'm giving you these as examples because you can set this up however you need to set it up for your product or for your service-based business. When you're selling a product, you just want to make it easy for people to buy it, right? And it's okay for you to say, so like if you're selling 4 products, it's okay for you to say, I'm going to sell 10,000 of this one, 5,000 of this one, 20,000 of this one, and 50,000 of this one. Quantify it. And then at the end of the year, you can see exactly how many of each one you sold. Then you can tweak it as you go into 2023 and make the adjustments. And that adjustment may be very simple. It could be just increasing marketing. It could be you increasing showing up more. It could be increasing testimonials. It could be having a referral program where if they refer 4 or 5 people, they get 10% off. You just got to decide what you want, make it specific and quantify it. And don't be afraid to do so. Don't be afraid to do so. Number 2. So number 1 is decide what you want. Number two is that's right. Have that follow up. Don't be scared to follow up. Listen, y'all, I have a book that I use each year where I have a book from every year that I started one of my businesses. One of my businesses I started in 2017. The other one I started in 2015. So the business that I started in 2017, I have a book every year. I can go through that calendar and tell you exactly who I reached out to, what date I reached out to them, what reason they told me they wanted to move forward, or what reason they told me they did not want to move forward. I literally have tracked everything since 2017. You got to be just that hungry for your next level. Be hungry. Because let me tell you, sometimes they tell you follow up with me on the 1st and you forget and follow up with them on the 10th. Baby, they broke on the 10th. They told you to follow with them on the 1st for a reason. You got to put that stuff in your calendar and you have to be disciplined. And since you said follow up, before I go into number 2, let me tell you this. Handing out your business card ain't good enough. I know. Because we're told to hand out our business cards everywhere we go, put them. That ain't good enough. Let me tell you what you got to do. And I'm going to move on because, see, I'm getting off track. I'm giving you too much information. Don't just hand out your business card. Make an exchange. Make an exchange. So what I do, this is just an example. You can figure out what your exchange looks like. So what I do, if I'm having a conversation with somebody that's interested in what I do, I say, what's your number? Let me text you real quick. And so I'll text them and say, hey, this is Carmela, the business coach. Save me in your phone. Well, I'll say, what's your name? And they say, Angela. So I'll say, hey, Angela, this is Carmela, the business coach. We met in Bilo. Save me in your phone. And so now, guess what? And I give her my business card. Now, guess what just happened? I have taken the responsibility of follow-up off of her. And it's my responsibility because what we'll say is, I gave out 100 business cards and ain't nobody called me. It ain't their job to call you. It's our job to do the follow-up. As LaTressa said, it's our job to do the calling. And so what I do is I follow the 24/7/30 rule. That's what I follow. 24/7/30. I'm just going to put that in the chat for you. I follow the 24/7/30 rule. Now that I got their number, I'm going to follow up with them in 24 hours. I'm going to follow up with them. If we don't make a connection or move forward after 24 hours, I'll follow up with them in 7 days. And then if I don't get them, or if they don't want to move forward or whatever it is, I'll follow up with them in 30 days. Let me tell you what that could look like. 24 hours, it could be, hey, this is Carmela. The coach we met in Bilo. You were very interested in my program. I would love to talk to you about it. And here's a link to my free group with some free training. And then I'm waiting on a response. If they say, oh, good, and they join my group, then now we'll start a communication. I'll welcome them to the group, ask them what their needs are, blah, blah, blah. If I don't hear back from them, 7 days later, I will follow up one more time to invite them to my group, see what their needs are, see how I can serve them. If not, I will follow up with them in 30 days, once every 30 days. Because if you don't have a plan, you'll look back and realize that you've been spamming people, and that's how you get blocked. Don't be in people's inbox that just sent you a friend request this morning talking about, do you want my services or do you want to be on my team? Don't do that. That's a quick way to get blocked. I block people that do me like that, so I know I don't want to be blocked. And so I try to make meaningful conversations. Number one, decide what you want. Be specific. Number two, set a goal that stretches you. That's number two. Set a goal that stretches you. When I said that I wanted to make $500 an hour, when I said that I wanted to do retreats, and make $6,000 for one corporate retreat. When I was saying things like that, y'all, I'm talking about set goals that stretches you. When I was saying things like that, I had no experience. I was not considered an expert in that area yet. And so sometimes while you're building your business, remember I told you I had 18 months of doing free work, but let me tell you, during those 18 months, I was getting referrals. I was getting not only referrals, I was getting reviews. People were giving me their feedback. I never did an event without asking them to write out what their feedback was, a review of my product, review of my service. I was building my email list during that time. That's why I have an email list now from the very beginning of my business. Set a goal that stretches you. Don't set a goal that you know you can meet. You got to dream bigger. Your work must match your dream, okay? You got to dream bigger. If you know last year, if you serve clients, I should be able to ask you, how many clients did you serve last year? If you served 50 clients last year, you should be going to serve 100 clients this year, unless your prices are going to increase and you're going to serve a different level of clientele. So I'm going to have a couple of different levels, right? So in my 2022, I'm no longer doing the 4-month Elite Academy. It's just not enough time to get my clients to where I need them to be. So I'm serving a different level of client. The ones that are at 6 figures or more, or their goal is 6 figures or more, will be the ones that I work with long term. And then I'll do quarterly workshops and masterclasses for the others that are working on getting to the 6 figures. And then I offer free trainings like this throughout the month to just continue to give information and give content. Okay. And so it's okay for you to revamp and decide what you want to do, not just what you want to do, but the goal that's going to stretch you. Set your financial goal that's going to stretch you as well. So I have a client that I didn't work with her in 2020. I worked with her in 2021, and she sent me her numbers. And she increased her business from the 1 year of working with us by, I think it was like 96%. It was crazy, the type of revenue growth that she had from 1 year to the next. And then this year, the goal is to like double. I mean, almost, it's a little more than double that, because she got the systems in place now. She understands what's required of her. And so now that she's confident in it, she'll be able to take it to a whole nother level on this year. And so you got to set goals that stretch you. Growth does not happen inside of your comfort zone. It just don't. Like, you're going to continue to get what you've been getting if you continue to do what you've been doing. And so you have to show up different. You got to show up more frequently. You got to ask for the sale. You got to ask for the referral. You got to ask for the review. If you got customers that really enjoy what it is that you do and you have a business page, ask them to go to that business page and make a review. And some of you can even give an incentive for those reviews. Don't pay for the reviews, but you want your regular customers, your VIP customers, you want them to share. You want them to share their experience. And let me tell you why. Because when people are unhappy, you don't have to ask for their review. They're going to give it. They're going to give their review. They're going to give their opinion. And if they don't put it on your page, they're going to tell somebody. And so you have to be actively asking for those reviews. And that's how you're going to also hit that second goal. Make sure you don't set a goal that you know you can hit. Les Brown says, it's not that we set goals so big that we miss them. It's that we set goals too low and we hit them. You set that low goal and you hit it by June, and then you just coasting for the rest of the year. Those goals should be living. They should be evolving. You should be tweaking and adjusting every single month. 1 month you may do more. That don't mean do less the next month. That's your new floor, not the ceiling. If $5,000 a month is your ceiling right now, that's what you want to make. $5,000 a month. That puts you at $60,000 a year. That's what you want to make. That's the ceiling. But when you take that first month and you hit 5,000, that's no longer the goal, baby. You done hit that. Now this month we're gonna hit the 5,000. That's the floor. We got a new ceiling. Now we finna go for 6,000 this month. You see what I'm saying? You gotta keep stretching yourself. You got to set goals that require you to get up, show up, and do your best. And these goals can't be goals that's tied to somebody else. They got to be tied to you. Like your why has to be so strong that if your body is aching, you'll still figure out a way to get up and make this thing happen. You'll still figure out a way to keep your clients happy while maintaining your integrity. Number 2, set a goal that stretches you. Number 3, commit to your own success. That's set a goal that will push you. Number 3, commit. This is the last one. Commit to your own success. And I gave you a whole lot of stuff in between. Number 3, commit to your own success. Now, this part was interesting because when I became a certified coach, speaker, and trainer in the John Maxwell team, I didn't have anybody locally that could mentor me, that I could look up to. I didn't know anybody locally that was a motivational speaker or a coach. I didn't know a business coach or any kind of coach, a life coach. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to monetize it. I knew how to train. I knew how to teach because that's one of my gifts. That's one of my spiritual gifts is teaching. But I did not know how to monetize it. And so I went to our trainings. We had trainings every 6 months. And so I went to 5 in a row. Everyone that I went to, none of them were free. Let me say that. You got to remember all the trainings that I did for 18 months. What did I tell you? They was free. So here I am continually investing, taking money out of our house, going back and forth to Orlando, making sure that I'm on our coaching calls because that was before Zoom was popular and before COVID, we was already doing coaching calls. We had coaching calls like 5 days a week. I'm on these coaching calls. I have notebooks where I was taking notes. I was asking questions. I was trying to learn. So I learned how to share the material. I learned the content because I'm licensed to teach and charge for several of John Maxwell's books. And so I learned the content. I learned how to teach. I learned how to train. I add another licensure. I'm a disc consultant. So that taught me about people's learning styles and their personality styles. And, I was gaining all this information, but I still was not making any money. But I was committed to my own success. even though the people around me didn't fully understand what I was doing. One, I had my husband's support, so I didn't need nothing else. So that's all I needed. If Troy is on board, then I'm moving forward, right? If hubby is like, babe, I'm not sure about that, then because I trust who he is and all that, him and I are typically on the same page. And very rarely will he tell me no. So if he tells me no, I know that means I need to wait. It don't mean never. It just means we need to look at some other things. But that's just our relationship. Your marriage and your significant other, y'all may not have that kind of relationship, so you got to do what works for you. But for me, because my husband had my back, I was going to be everywhere I could, learning everything I could. But this was the other thing. I learned everything they taught me, but I still didn't know how to build a business. This is why I enjoy coaching. And this is why I enjoy working with business owners. I became an expert in leadership training and development, but I didn't know how to turn that into a business. And so what I had to do then was start studying the other side of things. I had to start studying the backside of things. I had to start talking to an accountant. I had to understand my numbers. I had to understand that everybody was not my client, like me trying to coach everybody. That certain people that I tried to coach, I'm sure it wasn't good for them because it wasn't good for me. And so I realized that I like working with a certain type of business owner because I just get to flow and ideas and things flow out of me, and then I can pull ideas and things out of them. And it was a better relationship. It was a better exchange. And so I went from coaching everybody, because I went from life coaching, like no matter what they needed coaching in, I would coach them if they could pay. Because remember, I had went 18 months with no payment. So if they were willing to pay, I was willing to coach. But then I had to make a decision. I had to decide which clients were my client. This is what I'm telling you. When you're setting these goals, you may be an expert in your area, but you also got to learn how to take your expertise and turn it into a viable business. Just because you can do hair don't mean that you have a viable, sustainable business. You are an expert in doing hair, but now we got to master these books. Now you got to make sure that you're charging enough where you got money for your studio. You got money for your business savings account, your operations account, and you got money to pay you. Because if you're doing hair and you charge $40 and you do 10 clients that week, you make $400. You keep the whole $400 because that's what you need, and you go pay your bills at the house. Your business is broke. So you got to commit to your own success. So part of that is becoming licensed and becoming an expert in your industry. So you got that part down. Now, the second part of that is understanding the business side of things so that your numbers are appropriate. So if you need $400 at home each week, but say you need another $400 at the business to keep in your business account so that you can buy your hair supplies, pay your rent, your booth rent, and your marketing or whatever, all those other things you are doing, you got a choice to make. Either you need to see 20 clients a week, and that has to be your bottom line. You got to see 20 clients a week, or you're going to have to increase your prices some and then maybe see 15 clients a week. All I'm doing is I'm committing to my own success by understanding not only my expertise in my industry, but also understanding my numbers. And let me come down. I'm sorry, I've been yelling at y'all. Also understand your numbers, understand your books. So at the end of each month, you got money that you can pay yourself. You have money that have stayed in your business. And eventually you'll get to the place where you can build your business savings, where you can start building your business credit. Don't go out and start building all this business credit. I'm in a business credit group. Don't go out and just because you can get business credit and you go out and get all these business credit accounts and that stuff is due net 30, and then here you are with a bill of $4,000 a month, but you ain't bringing in but $2,000. Don't do that. You got to be committed to your own success, y'all. That means being disciplined in every area. That committing to myself means allowing myself, giving myself permission to want what it is I want and not be intimidated because somebody is saying that I want too much. Committing to my own success means that it's okay for me to charge more. I don't know why the Lord has me talking about cosmetologists, the hair industry, because I know we have people on here from a variety of industries, but I like watching reels. And I was watching this business reel, and this gentleman was doing hair, and he has a disclaimer at the top that says, before you inquire about his services, click this link here to go and see our prices. And his hair installs, his sew-ins start at $1,500. He has another note at the bottom that says, we are accepting new high-end clients. Why people on his page complaining about how much he charged? If $1,500 for a sew-in is too much, you ain't his client. It's okay. He's looking for high-end clients, and that's okay. I understand the customer side of it. You want him to do your hair for $40. He don't do that. Go find somebody that do that, and they can do an excellent job, because that price difference don't mean the value is less. That's not what I'm saying. But from the entrepreneur perspective, he just likes to serve a different level of clientele, and there's nothing wrong with either cosmetologist. There's nothing wrong with the one that charged $40 for a sew-in, and there's nothing wrong with the one that charged $1,500 for the sew-in. It just depends on who you're looking to serve. There's nothing wrong with it. That's what I mean by decide what you want, and you got to close your ears to the people who think you want too much. Okay? Because I promise you, it's somebody out there willing to pay your price, and they love what it is that you do. Set boundaries this year. So under commit to your success, set boundaries. What will you do? And what will you no longer tolerate? What the boundaries, you got to set them. Now, I'm a Christian business owner. There's certain things I'm just not going to do. I'm not going to go back and forth with people. I'm not going. Now, I am going to share my experiences. Good, bad, or ugly. I'm going to share my experiences. So if you don't want to hear about my experience with you in one of my training videos, you have every right to refuse me service. And I promise you, I will not be offended. I'm probably going to talk about it, but I ain't going to be offended. But this is the thing I will not do. I'm not going to put your business name out there. I'm not going to go to somebody's page and give them a negative review. I'm just not going to do that, because that, to me, that just takes too much energy. But I am going to share my experiences, because that's my content. I talk about businesses. I talk about businesses with great customer service. I had 2 great customer service experiences. One was a gift that I got for my daughters. We had their frames put, their diplomas put in a custom frame. I had never done a custom frame before. I walked in and told the guy, hey, I need a custom frame for my girls. And he said, what kind you need? I said, I don't know. And he said, all right, let me show you this. And he began to put all the things together, the colors together. He asked me the questions. Why? Because he's the expert in that area. And then we have Tina McFarland, who's on here, and I am going to call their names when I have a good experience, but I won't call their names when I had a bad experience. Now, the frame place that I love was Frame Gallery, and the owner is Troy Reddick. My husband and I absolutely loved our experience with him. The other one that I have a great experience with every time I use her is Tina McFarland. Tina makes custom jewelry. Tina makes oils and things like that. I always keep this oil is in a bottle. I always keep it here so that when I go live, I can keep my hands, my hands ain't ashy. But Tina makes these custom, I got one up here on my desk. Tina makes these custom charms. You can put it on jewelry. You can put it on a keychain. And she made custom charms for our leadership team at our church. And she made custom charms for my leadership team in one of my businesses. But I absolutely enjoyed doing business with them. You know why? Because they asked me my vision. I didn't have to understand their industry in order to do business with them. Don't talk to me industry lingo, because I don't get it. So as a business owner, you got to set your boundaries. What will you do? And what will you no longer do? I'm not going to do business with people that don't make me feel valued. I can take my business somewhere else. And I had somebody to say, why would you say that? You're a woman of God. Just because I'm a woman of God, I should let people take advantage of me? No, it's not a sin for me to take my business somewhere else. I'm committed to my own success. And I'm okay with the people that don't understand it. And you got to be okay with it too. Build yourself up, y'all, with personal growth and development. I'm almost done. Give me 2 more minutes. Invest in you a coach, or go to YouTube, find you some free videos. She Boss Talk is a really good one on YouTube, especially if you have an organization and you need grants and things like that. She Boss Talk, she does a great job of just explaining grants and the EIDL grant and stuff like that people have been struggling with. I mean, she's an African-American woman. She does a phenomenal job of making things very plain. She has master classes. Like if you want to start your own YouTube channel, why am I promoting her? She don't even know me. Because I'm not in competition. That ain't my area of expertise. I help people build the foundations in their business. Oh, you welcome, Tina. Y'all, this girl, she does some amazing things. So build yourself up. Personal growth and development has to be a part of your goal setting basics. Like put that in your plan. This is where you are now in business as far as the expertise in your industry. Where do you want to be next year? Maybe you have the industry part down. Maybe you have the finances down, but maybe you need to work on customer service. So that's what your personal growth and development will be. Maybe you need to work on some systems. Maybe you need to get social media, but that's what you would do personal growth and development to understand that particular area. It's okay to hire people, but you still need to be able to talk intelligently about what's going on. You can get ripped off if you don't know what's going on. Let me give you an example of that. And I got one more tip. My daughter and I, my daughter is a subcontractor in my business, and we do very basic social media support for our clients, for my clients. So we had a client who had somebody they had been paying for almost 2 years to do their social media. There were 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares, and 0 growths on that business page. Not even 100 people following that business page in almost 2 years. But because the client did not understand what they should have been looking for, they thought it was fine and things on that page was going good. We've been running that page now for over 30 days. So we did it in December. Now we're into January. That page, those likes, those engagements are through the roof, the likes and everything, because there are some certain things you need to do for the algorithms. We just do very basics. And I've learned about social media because one of my businesses is 100%, almost 100% social media. So I had to learn it. And so now we're just sharing that with my clients. Why am I sharing that with you? You can hire somebody to do certain things, but you still need to understand some basics of it so that you're not wasting money. So invest in personal growth in an area that area, whatever your area of weakness is in business, invest in personal growth and development each day so that you can get better and have a better understanding. And the last thing under commit to your own success is everyone won't support you, but you're not going after everyone. You only need what you need. That goes back to number 1, when I said decide what you want and be specific. How many clients do you want this year? So if you say I want to have 500 hair appointments this year, well, you only going after, you ain't even got to have, that ain't even 500 different people. You see what I'm saying? How many people is that? That's all you need. You don't need everybody. You just need your 300, or you just need your 100 that set their regular appointments. That's all you need. Maybe you're trying to build a team and you're going after 25 people this year. You don't need everybody to be on board. You just need 25. For my elite group, my 12-month group, I don't need everybody to understand, because I know some people say $10,000 is too much money, but $10,000 is not a lot of money when you're making $200,000. It's just a different mindset. I don't need everybody to be in that program. I only need 10. You see the difference? So I want you to decide what you want, make it specific, be specific with how many clients you want, how many products you're going to sell, what your goals are, and the naysayers, tune them out. And when your stuff starts going viral, your reels and all those cool things that you're doing, and sometimes you got to come out them comments because folks will have you fussing with them, have you going back and forth with them, and they don't even understand the vision. You could have said everything right, and they took one little word, like it ain't even a full statement, totally out of context, and went left with it. Don't give people like that your energy. You keep pouring into those who want what it is that you have. Show up on those business pages. This is my last tip. If you have a business page, you need to go and invite all the people on your friends list. That's one. You need to post on that business page every single day. Every single day. After 30 days, the flip will switch in the algorithm that this is a viable business page every single day. Other people can tell you different. I'm telling you what's worked for us. Every single day, more of the people that like your page will begin to see your page. You know how you can know that? Because you can go to your insights and you will see the difference in the views of the people who have saw your page. If you have Facebook and Instagram, link them together. Use Facebook, use the Business Suites app, and post on both at the same time. You can post on the post at both at the same time. You can post the stories on both at the same time and keep things going. Okay. That is real important on that business page this year. No longer business pages with 50 people that follow the page. Build those pages. You know why? Because when you're really ready to take it to the next level, you can do $1 a day ad. I do $1 a day ads a lot. $1 a day ad to a specific area. You can say, so if you live in Savannah, you got an office in Savannah, right? You can actually say a 30-mile radius from that office or a 60-mile radius from that office address. Those are the only people you want to see that ad, and do $1 a day. I promise you things are different. I get a lot of my sales from $1 a day ads. They go to my website and they shop inventory that way. So you have to figure out what works for you. Number one, decide what you want. Number two, set a goal that stretches you. Number three, commit to your own success. I don't care who is happy about it, who mad about it. This is about you giving yourself permission to want it, and you going to the next level in this year. Listen, you got to make sure you jump in this boot camp. We kick it off on Sunday night, y'all, for 4 weeks in a row. We're going to do our vision boards. We're going to do our own numbers. We're going to break things down. In these videos, I can tell you how to do it. But you got to go and do it by yourself. If you're in that boot camp, we're going to help you do it. And you don't have to do it by yourself. You can ask your questions, and we're going to be there to help you have a solid plan at the end of these 4 weeks. It is a boot camp now. So if you just want information, continue to watch this free stuff. But if you're ready for implementation, then you need to be in that boot camp. Who wants to repeat last year? No, we're going to start off right in this first quarter. Making the money that we want to make, putting the systems in place, reaching out to our clients, identifying who they are, and setting some boundaries. Because we're not repeating last year. We're continuing to grow. I hope this was helpful for you. If you know an entrepreneur that can use a little bit of help, you should share this with them. It's on my Facebook page, it's in our Facebook group, and it's in my YouTube channel. I love you. Have a great day, y'all.